Hello and welcome back to the Academy of the Magical Art. I am Frater Ophiel, and today I'm going to discuss something that's very often called spiritual resistance. A friend and follower of the Academy of the Magical Art sent me a message on Facebook a few weeks ago, expressing a struggle that he was experiencing. He asked why he has such a difficult time with resisting things that he knows he should not be doing, as well as resisting things that he knows that he should be doing. He noted that he understands that meditation is a key to unlocking many things, and even taking some time each day to do that is a struggle. When I read that email and responded to him, a week or two had passed by, and it dawned on me that it might not be a bad idea to discuss this very topic in a video, which is what we're doing today. When I think about the spiritual awakening process, the process of initially coming to some form of further enlightenment or receiving some kind of light, creating that drive to search for further enlightenment, I oftentimes think of a very similar process in waking up in the morning, especially during the winter months when it's a little bit more on the chilly side. There is something inside of me when I wake up in the morning that tries to compel me to go back to sleep. Even opening my eyes some days takes conscious effort, let alone pulling the blankets back and getting out of bed to prepare for the day. Akin to that, you can also think of a reaction that somebody has when walking from a dark room into a light room, or walking from inside of a building into a very, very bright sun outside. Initially, our reaction is to squint, step back a little bit, and allow ourselves to adjust. I don't know of many people that did not go through that initial period of taking a step back and adjusting to the light that's being received, or requiring conscious effort to actually go from one state of rest to the state of active motion. There is a hermetic principle, the principle of rhythm, that states that everything flows out and in, everything has its tides, all things rise and fall, the pendulum swing manifests in everything, and that the measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm will always compensate. When progressing through the process of awakening, of seeking further enlightenment, it is important to remember that everything does have an ebb and a flow, that the pendulum does swing, and oftentimes, our minds being what they are, state dependent, a part of us will try to cling to the state that it was in rather than pushing forward to encourage the change that is occurring. It is this ebb and this flow that many people often think of as resistance. But when you truly analyze it, we find this in all aspects of our life. This can go from sleeping to awakening, hunger to satisfaction, the swinging of the pendulum within the political circles, world government, our own belief systems, everything. It is when, rather than allowing this pendulum to move, allowing this ebb and this flow, this rhythm to occur, that we get locked into a specific state, oftentimes creating a sense of stagnation. When trying to ascend, keep in mind that there is a natural force that may try to pull you into the other direction. A natural force, oftentimes found within our own selves, that will cling to the state that it was in rather than allowing the pendulum to move. And then when that pendulum does reach its apex and begins to fall backward, allow that to occur as well. Allow yourself the time to rest and to digest whatever understanding or light that was received, understanding that the pendulum will go back up again. It is the ascent and descent up and down the metaphorical mountains of life. This is not something that is necessarily negative or bad. It is just nature. And when we have conscious awareness of the laws and principles that govern the lives that we live within, we can begin to work with them, rather than considering the descent down the mountain, the backward swing of the pendulum, to be a negative thing, oftentimes leading it to becoming a negative thing, that we begin to lose control and oftentimes find ourselves in a downward tailspin. However, when we can look at it as a time of further learning, further rest, testing of the lessons that have just been learned, testing of the strength that has been gained, that in actuality we become stronger and that pendulum once swinging back up, reaches a higher place than it was previously at. This is an ebb and a flow that will take place throughout our entire spiritual journey and our entire lives, because it is law. I would be willing to bet that if you would look into your own life, timelining things a bit, you would be able to see something very similar. And in understanding and analyzing those specific situations that come to mind, I would be also willing to bet that you would be able to see that your state of mind directly influenced and affected the way that that pendulum swung. So long story short, the awakening process has an ebb and a flow. You will experience the ebb and you will experience the flow, the stopping and the starting, the swinging back and the swinging forth. Do not consider them good or bad, but rather look at them as just being part of the cycle. Use the peaks to learn and to grow and to bask in the sun. Use the valleys to become stronger and utilize that light that you had received. But do not be defeated, thinking that in some way you are failing, but be strengthened, knowing that you are in fact succeeding, and you are in fact becoming stronger and becoming more aware. I want to thank you for joining with me today at the Academy of the Magical Art, and until next time, blessed be.